Hey, we are live for day 5 or part 5 if you're watching the replay for the next 5, 6 and 7, which is our last 3 participation. Welcome. And applying, even if you're not participating in here, applying it to your own life, saying certain things out loud will help with the activation. And this is going beyond SMART goals as an entrepreneur who solves problems, who constantly involves him or herself. And so we have been talking about that the difference between a dream and a goal is the goals are written down, and we are drafting and crafting. Like the people that I'm putting in here, only 3% of people write down their goal, which earn 10 times more. Google it. It's a Harvard study. Google it yourself. Okay, so how do we go beyond SMART goals? We are looking at the enlifted method in a looking at target, plan, and identity. And really the target is getting very clear with what you want. And how we get clear and specific, we add the word I, and then go deeper into your because. Why do you want certain things? Because clarity comes before focus. You could check out the other videos, and then for today, you don't need the other videos. You'll activate beyond these SMART goals, because it's really at the target, basically what you want, and even being clear. It's the top of the iceberg because we get choked down, discouraged, and we procrastinate when we leave plan and identity out of our goal setting. And we talked about the action dispels overwhelm because like oh my god, Matt, right? I believe it's Matt. uh Massive imperfect action. Again, you activated yesterday. I shared a video of one of my bucket lists, flying a plane. And so for today, and I'll make myself smaller because one of the biggest choke besides, and we're still in plan, we're gonna hit identity for the last 2 days, is that we get down to like our goals are way out there. So how are we gonna activate on that? One of the questions, and this is again participation much needed. A lot of times we say, how can I ever afford XYZ? And yesterday we said, take out ever. So we took out ever, and you fill in the blank for whatever is it that you want, right? How can I ever fly a plane? For those who were here yesterday. And taking the ever out, ever being this binary, very extreme drama language, puts you in the more solution oriented mindset. How could I ever afford my own apartment? How could I afford a new car? Right. And then it puts you into solution, which is you who I'm speaking to. You're a lifelong learner who are looking for solutions. So I have a question for you. I love sharing this, especially in middle school and high school, because we are not taught this. My question is, who makes more money at the end of the year? And I'm using really generic numbers from like the 90s. I know teachers that make 100 plus. But for this example, who makes more money? And let's go by like what really society influence us to think, right? The doctor makes more money. Of course, the doctor. I mean, they're bringing 100. Now, the question here is at the end of the year, who makes more money? And let's be more specific. We added the expenses with the title, right? You make the money, you got the big house, you got to get the big furniture. And you got to compare that car to the Johnsons next door, or Joneses, whatever the saying says. And so it becomes a lot more. It can be not always, obviously, but it can't be. You got a bigger house, you got to buy more things. And so at the end, I asked my students who makes more money, and we're seeing that the doctor with the 90,000 expense lifestyle really at the end has 10, and the teacher who's living at a decent budget comes home with 15. Now, obviously, those numbers could go higher, and you don't necessarily need to be a teacher. You could literally make 40,000 and spend 20, and at the end of the year you have a $20,000 saving at the end of the year. So again, it's not about title nor precision, right? Although if it's your passion, kudos to you, doctor, or soon to be doctor. And so why I share that is because it's letting that elephant out, and this is why I'm doing this for free in LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I know schools pay me to share these things. This is information that everybody's got to know. Like, how could I ever afford something? By saving 800 sounds like a lot. How about saving $100 a month, making it more realistic, more attainable? So we're going beyond this SMART, right? And how we're paying attention to the words that we say. How could I ever? What happens? What do you see? What do you feel when you put that big word ever in the way you speak to yourself? For me, it's stuck. It's like, holy cow, how could I? Oh my God, how could I ever do this? Versus, how could I? Oh, let me start thinking. Let me brainstorm on the ways that I could do this. We're gonna do a game. One of my cousins put a post out about the let's stop saying should, people. And yeah, absolutely. And we're going to do a should detox. We're going to start shoulding on ourselves. Seriously, especially for those ambitious entrepreneurs. You know who you are. We often should on ourselves, and we're going to do some detox, right? We're going to green juice this way of setting goals for ourselves, going beyond this SMART goal acronym that is very powerful and useful. Go ahead and put in whatever is that you have been procrastinating, putting off. You should do it. Go ahead and write that down. If you have a few, that's fine. Use a few. But the one thing, right? Like for me right now, like vacuum this floor because I have a super duper hairy dog. I should vacuum, whatever that is. And I'm using a really vague example. Some of the examples can be very big and has made you perhaps feel stuck in your life. Use that one. Go deep. You don't necessarily need to share in this live. This is between you and your journal. This is between you and the power of pen to paper. Go ahead and write that down. I should XYZ. And if you're joining the live, awesome. You can share in the comments or not. I mean, this is here on the tube, on Facebook for a long time. Oh, I froze for a second, giving you some time to write some should. We're should detoxing people. Okay. So now I want you to take that word should. I want you to replace it with one word. You're going to put could. I could call my brother that I haven't talked to in years. I could send a text to Equus. I could look into a new job. I could finalize my resume. I could, right? Whatever you have put in should, we're changing that with could. And let me ask you actually before that, how does it feel when you write should? Like I'm starting to feel pressure right in here in that shoulder when I say should. This is why detoxing is so important. That pressure. Wakala. So what happens when you take out should and you put in could? I should call my mom more often. Pressure. I could call my mom more often. I know some of the answers I got in, people do this. They kind of look around like, yeah, I could. Chess. relax, getting in there, right? Okay, this works really well when you use the one example. That's why I started with the one you've been procrastinating. What happens? Drop it in the comments if you're watching a replay, if you're coming back to this video. My words are magic. I'm not sure if I've done this yet. Most people think that the word abracadabra means what? Magic. Ding! Father God, I pray for a new job. And all of a sudden, bing, the job is going to appear in your lap. Abracadabra is Aramaic for with my words I create, with my words I influence. I should. Boom. Pressure. You better, girl. Tough language. Pressure. Okay. I could. What happens? What happens? What happens? You tell you that. You don't necessarily need to tell me. I do workshops, and you are all welcome to my workshops. We do a lot of interactive work, and I work one-on-one with people in a group setting. For right now, this is you in this journal. What happens when you change that? Okay. Now, same should you've been procrastinating or feel very heavy about. You're gonna take out could and you're gonna put in can. I can make that phone call to my mom. I can text my brother. I can. What happens when you went from should to could to can? What's going on? I can. And do me a favor. Now feel it even more. I can call my mom this Sunday at 10 a.m. Listen, if this is activating something in you, put a date, put a time, set a timer, make it happen. Right? I'm getting goosebumps. How many of you are getting goosebumps? I'm getting goosebumps. Right? We're in a solution oriented. Right? We're detoxing this pressure. Entrepreneurs, business owners out there. I am still in that journey, my friend. This is why I come live too. It's such a great accountability. Let's put myself smaller in here to drive this message one more time. We're detoxing from I should to could to can. And we're going to go deeper, my friends. I can do it when. Remember the plan. In the next 48 hours, 2 weeks to 2 months, we don't need this long setting plan. Now, do I love long setting, long terms, yearly, seasonally, quarterly plans? Of course I do, because I'm a nerd and I love planning. I'm talking about for those things are keeping us prisoner of ourselves. Okay. Throw a day. I can text right now. You know what? Kudos to you if you do it right now. Mute me, pause me, get off this live and go make that call or that text. I know I love working with clients who boom, activate we hang up and they're making phone calls. They're calling places and doing things. They're activating. Okay. Simple words. Basically writing it down. Only 3% of people write things down. Okay, magic happens. Words are magic. What you tell yourself is magic, my friend. What can you do? We're back to 48 hours. I'm gonna drill it right now. Put it in a calendar. Tell Alexa to remind. Tell Siri, whatever your device is, to send a reminder. But what can you do right now? Some of you may take action right now. Some of you, you may have a long distance. It may take some planning. But most people will make that time for you when you give them 2 weeks in advance. Most people. There are those who are difficult. I get it. Okay, I have those too, right? But most people, you give them 2 weeks, they will make time for you. I love it. I'm going to be in New York going back to some friends. I love when my friends make time for me. Some busy entrepreneurs making time for us to walk. You know who you are. I can't wait. I am so looking forward to seeing you. Make time, that phone call, that text, that visit, schedule it. Do it now because you can do it. I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. We're going to get into identity, people. The last 2 days is an identity. Okay, we're going to talk about what that means. See you tomorrow, day 6. 6 and 7. Come for both. All right. See you guys soon. Bye. You can do it. Yes. Yes. Sí se puede, señorita y señor. Sí se puede.